everybody. Oh my gosh, why issues matter. We have so many issues, right? What are some issues that bring you out today, like that you care about? Scream them out. Healthcare? Huh? Health immigration? Yeah. Choice? Yep. Oh my God, we have so many issues. Oh my God. So here's the thing. Issues absolutely matter. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But you know statistically that most people actually are on the right side of the issues that we care about, like gun control or climate justice or healthcare or reproductive rights. But I don't know if you've ever said to yourself, if we just talk about these issues right, we can get the voters to do X, Y, Z, right? So that actually hasn't been my experience, and research tells us that we will have more success with mobilizing people if we come from a place of shared values, just like the other side does. Make America great again. So I'm going to give you an example of values and issues together. I suppose you could call me a person, I'm a person with one issue. As long as you're not talking to my ex-husband, I am a one-issue person. I have been working in abortion rights and reproductive rights for 30 years. But I don't feel like my issue is one issue. I am fighting for freedom. Freedom. You know what? And they know what freedom is? It's the freedom and the ability to create your family in the way that's authentic to you, in a community that's authentic to you. And do you know what the number one predictor of that kind of freedom is in America? Do you know what the number one predictor is? It's not race, it's not education, it's your zip code. Here's my zip code. Downtown Oakland, Nebraska, 68045. Population 1,200. This is a picture outside my house. Nebraska is a place of cornfields and football and talk radio and really slow internet and a whole lot of white women often drinking beer, which is me drinking beer. But Nebraska is also a place where I was never given information about sexuality or gender expression in school. It's a place where my gay father and my gay uncle were ostracized and bullied and ultimately had to leave for the coast. They had to leave their families. But serendipitously, my first job at 17 years old was, I was out of high school. I worked for Planned Parenthood of Lincoln, Nebraska. And I saw firsthand the pro-choice values of the women there and the shaming antics of the anti-choicers, and it lit a fire in me that still burns with the fire of 10,000 suns, as you will see. So flash forward to 2002. I'm 30 years old, going through a chaotic divorce. I didn't take my birth control pills on time, and I find myself accidentally pregnant. And I could feel the walls coming down around me, and I'm thinking, how did this happen to me? I used to teach people how to use birth control. But you know what? My zip code at the time was 94114, San Francisco. So I made an appointment with my regular doctor. I was given a medical abortion using safe, effective pills. It was not a big deal. It was entirely covered by insurance, and I went on with my life to be here today. Total reproductive freedom because I was in a different zip code than where my life would have been controlled by laws and public pressure, forcing me to be a mother and a man to be a father at literally the worst possible time in our lives. So what is that like for America? What does that picture look like for all of us? This is the story of reproductive freedom in America. There's 326 million people in America. Half of those are assigned female at birth. 75 million of those people are in childbirth range. I want to also call in my transgender brothers and sisters because reproductive freedom is a huge issue for the transgender community. They need reproductive health care access in a respectful and accessible way. We are all in this together. But here's the thing. 1 in 4 women have terminated pregnancy before the age of 45, and 2/3 of those women are mothers. And 87% of them do not regret it. So I'm here today to start reframing the way we think about issues from a place of value, We need to really stop projecting shame and hand-wringing and sadness upon these choices that people are making, because in the vast majority of cases, it's an act of freedom. But here's some exciting info for you. This is a picture from the Washington Post General Social Survey of 2016, the relationship between party affiliation and access to abortion. On the vertical axis is the access level, and on the horizontal axis is strong Democrat to strong Republican. You see in the corner there, where it's health and safety of a woman, 82% of strong Republicans believe you should have abortion access. Amazing. Look at this bubble here. You see that bubble? That is not a majority of people, and those are the folks, those at that small group of well-organized, loud, propagandist-shaming people who have convinced us all that America is split on reproductive rights. The data tells us that it is not true. We, in fact, are not split. This is a unifying issue. 72% of American voters believe that abortion should be safe, legal, affordable, accessible, and without shame. Republicans, Democrats, independents, all of them. 80% agree that women should have access to abortion. We are a pro-choice nation, and we have been for a while. This might be news to you, or maybe it's not, because I'll tell you, we've all been coming out like crazy, and we know exactly what we're marching for. We're marching for the values of freedom and justice and the world we want to see for everybody. Everybody. Unfortunately, that's not the reality that we have today. The small percentage of anti-choicers not only have taken over the narrative, they've also taken over our state legislatures, elected courts, district attorneys' offices. They've been dismantling access to reproductive freedom since Roe v. Wade was decided in 1973. So since 2001, 401 laws passed, 402 laws have been passed, because guess what? Louisiana banned abortion yesterday at 15 weeks. And Iowa banned abortion at 20 weeks the month before. These laws will eventually hit a Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court who shut down 2 medical abortion clinics in Arkansas on Tuesday. This is not good. 58% of women in this country live in a state that is hostile to reproductive health. I want you to think about those zip codes and think about access and think about these people. And not surprisingly, the passage of these laws have been accelerated since the orange man has entered the White House. So honestly, you know, we really need to stop calling these folks pro-life. I mean, we just gotta stop, like now, because they are not. This is not about saving babies or family values. This is about controlling people, shaming transgender people, and maintaining power. Paul Ryan said in December on CNN, Americans need to have more babies. Do you know what he was talking about? Entitlement reform. What? Like what? So if you can control reproductive freedom, you can control a person like me from becoming politically engaged and helping elect pro-choice champions throughout the country. And I can't imagine why they wouldn't want that. So I am here today. This is the call to action part. I am here today to implore us to embrace reproductive freedom as a winning issue and to change the way we think and talk about it, because the statistics are on our side. We know that voter behavior tells us that when people know about the situation of reproductive freedom in their communities, they're ignited into action and they will do some stuff. Because we're not just a pro-choice nation, we're a pro-choice nation currently very, very motivated to vote on this issue. This is my message. I mean, Ireland was not an anomaly. Ireland, I mean, really? Ireland, oh my God, Ireland, right? Oh. So, you know, I'm hoping they're signaling like they did with Brexit was like the thing that happened after Trump. Now, anyway, you get my point. So look, but you got to see the joy, like what's happening in our own communities. People are coming out, these candidates that are saying, I stand for women's rights to choose, reproductive health, reproductive justice. They're winning in every zip code. In Georgia, rural Pennsylvania, Alabama, and my home congressional district of Nebraska. This is Kara Eastman, who beat the DCCC's chosen candidate. I understand why Brad, you know, but he was a little anti-choice, I know, but she won. That's all I'm saying. And I'm giving, I'm like, come on, DCCC, let's add her to the red to blue list. I had to get that in there. What I'm saying is that there is so much hope here. So what we do at Vote Pro-Choice is connect great pro-choice champion candidates and majority of voters through partnerships and really cool technology. We have to elect pro-choice candidates at every level of government everywhere because it matters in every race. And I'll just give you a couple of quick examples. In Massachusetts, the zoning authority tried to deny an abortion clinic through water ordinances. So water boards are often elected, so we have to have pro-choice water boards. In the state of Indiana, you might recall, it's the home of our friend Vice President Mike Pence. He sentenced a 33-year-old Hindu woman to 20 years in prison for self-inducing an abortion using the same pills that I used in 2002. The elected officials involved included the district attorney, sheriffs, governors, judges, as the state legislature, and this woman served 6 months in jail in 2016. So, you know what? Let's vote these guys out. Vote them all out. So that's what we do. That's our job. We're done. We're done. Done. So Vote Pro-Choice has a beautiful voter guide that we highlight every candidate's position on reproductive rights. We built it with our team at Ballot Ready. They're amazing. They're amazing women-owned business. And it clearly shows the position of these candidates all the way down the ballot. We include our progressive pro-choice organizations endorsements, as well as the NRA endorsement and anti-choice endorsement, because you need a counterpoint. It's beautiful, well-designed, mobile-friendly, and when it arrives in your mailbox sometime during the next election or your email, please share it the hell out of it with everyone you know. And finally, 2 more little quick asks. If you are an organization that does endorse, please use reproductive freedom as a test, because I promise you, all of the data says that this is a winning issue, and we have to own it as a foundational issue of what the work that we do. It cannot be put in a corner. It cannot be called a women's issue anymore. We have to own it as a winning strategy. And talk about what it means we have to talk about this honestly, which is a fight for freedom and control. And you know what? We can win on this issue in any zip code because we all deserve to be free. And that, my friends, is why issues matter.